What up, ladies? Ooh, we're gonna look at things that that has happened in history. I know that was a long pause. I was like looking at something and memeing, as you should when you go live. You should always look at memes instead of interacting with the internet or the audience, and grab beer. So grab beer, and we're gonna look at things that was turned into a listening device, and probably probably violations of your privacy in general, and maybe why you shouldn't get that smart TV, or get that smart blender, or why does my toothbrush need to connect to the internet? These are things that you obviously want to take with a grain of salt, because it is a lot of focus in the privacy and security space where people they overlook at things that pretty much might zero happen. It's not obviously zero. Nothing can be zero. There's a possibility, but it's cool to learn about, and it puts it in the back of your head just in case it does happen. You are aware. I think being aware of technology that is used to surveil on you is an important thing to think about, but beyond thinking about it is not really anything that you should really care about. If you live in society and you're trying to hide from your government, you should probably just get off the internet, Jenna. Oh, Arbor, thank you. I appreciate for becoming a member. Super based, super awesome. I don't have a soundboard yet, but I should get one. So anytime someone does something, I could do funny sounds. Thank you, I appreciate it. But to continue before my ADHD kicks in, I think that it's relatively important to think about things that can be used to you as like a surveillance weapon. My main concern and my main objective in general has always come down to one thing only. I don't like advertisers selling off my data, and I don't like the idea of my information being sold, 3 to 4 times by 3 to 4 different companies that already took my money. I believe it's a tax on people. I believe it's a tax in general. You are paying what I would consider something called a privacy tax. Look, if you buy something and you give them your email just for a receipt, and then they take that information, sell it to advertisers so that they can sell you more products, they essentially double dipped on your purchase. We're getting and even worse if it's a subscription. When you're paying a subscription to something, they should be opting you out for selling your data because they're already making money from you. But again, I think that these companies have gotten insanely greedy, and surveillance capitalism is kind of the problem. It's not really capitalism that's the issue, it's surveillance capitalism. It's double dipping. It's like paying tax on your tax, like quite literally. And it does happen in real life. Obviously, you get you go into a store, they take your email, that email gets sent to you. Hey, thanks for signing up. Here's $5. Go fuck yourself. And then that $5 turns into we're going to do spy pixels, which is something that is a very real thing to actually be concerned of, because when you get an email sent to you, I mean, I've talked to people in marketing about this as a real thing. Or if you run a website, or if you run anything that's remotely close to touching the internet, they can see when you opened up the email, they can see your screen resolution all the way down to your operating system, take that information and then sell it in a live bid. We're going to be talking about live bidding too. Live bidding is kind of the spookiest part of it, really, because it's like, I think before live bidding was a thing, it used to, like, you used to have to pay for ad spots when it came to like mobile development, and whoever bought those ad spots and got those ad spots, they would essentially get the rights to the information, the data and everything, because then they could serve better ads. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm correct, if you in this live bidding, if you lose the bid, you still get like a good chunk of information, which is not good, meaning that you get a chunk of information that you can use to curate and sell ads to other companies or whatever, or harvest it until your heart content. Just do this. So this is something that you should definitely think about. I'm talking about like the average user, not the schizophrenic sitting in the corner being like, my microwave is listening to me, but it might be, especially if it's smart. And I don't think I really relatively, this is going to be a long intro and rant. I don't have a problem with smart homes. I don't have a problem with automation. I don't have a problem with technology. I think those are all great things. It automates stuff that you would never want to do on a consistent basis. Imagine waking up and your lawn is already cut for you, and your house is already cleaned itself with like a robot vacuum. And your your blinds open when you come out after you jorked it. Like, quite literally awesome things that you can set up in real time, and it's pretty awesome. And you can do it all locally, especially with the great thing about open source. If you have Home Assistant, you have Open HAB, you have Apple's HomeKit. You have so many options out there to automate your house locally. And that's what's important. And because you can do it locally, it gives you the full control. If XYZ company goes gone tomorrow, if it's working off like a protocol like Zigbee or Z-Wave, you don't have to relatively care. Now, here's the caveat. If you have a smart device and you decide to put on your Wi-Fi and you install their app and you pay your subscription, whatever, to like Sonos speakers, or insert pile of shit company here, you could be at the mercy of them, to their user agreement, what they're collecting, the information that they're selling off. And it's worse, like, again, if you buy these products for like $200 to $300. Like, I got a really cool smart lock, but the smart lock works off Z-Wave, Z-Wave, and because it works off Z-Wave, it's all local. I don't have to worry about it touching the internet. And it's something that I did take a lot of consideration to, making sure that there's no Wi-Fi involved. The good thing about Z-Wave and like Zigbee is these protocols are super old. They've been around since like the 90s. And they do not know how to communicate with Wi-Fi. They don't even know what fucking Wi-Fi is. So, like, that's the benefit of it. My Wi-Fi can go down and it could still work. It also has like backup options for like keys, etc., etc. Something to think about if you ever, have a place and you want to make it smart and automate it and not do things that involve touching the cloud. Like, I can't access any of this outside of my local area network, and I think that's what's important to me. Besides me setting up a secure, VPN, or using something like NetBird or Tailscale or whatever, I can't access it. Meaning, I'm trying to keep it self-contained. Meaning, it reduces the threat of threat actors or hackers or anything trying to infiltrate my network. I VLAN as much as possible. That's something that you should all go home and really think about. When you are building a private and secure lifestyle, I think the best thing to start with, and this is just my personal take, is start with your network. Your network is the gateway to your life. Your network is the gateway to your thoughts. What you search on the internet, everything that is known about you, your personality, the internet knows and sees this gateway. So this gateway into your life is like a giant diary. And because it is, relatively speaking, it is the most sensitive information. I mean, like your search provider probably knows you better than you. So I would say start with your network. Start looking at what free and open source options you have when it comes to like your Wi-Fi, like router slash what's the word I'm looking for? Your Wi-Fi router slash like modem. Get away from your ISP's bullshit because they have a lot of control over it, and look for a free and open source. If not free and open source option, get one that allows you to host a controller locally, aka like Unify, or insert like a million other vendors in there. And the reason I like Unify is because they charge no license for a ton of their stuff. I mean, quite literally, it's just purchase one once and done. I don't like subscription fees. I don't like license, and I like that they let me host my controller. But if they were to disbar tomorrow, if they were to do something that I find atrocious and or not fun, I quite literally would, in no question, not even a thought, I would go to like something like OpenSense or pfSense or OpenWRT or, you know, all the Tomato and all the other fucking like vendors out there. Ooh. All right. Now that rant is done, just know that you should start with at the bare minimum, like with your local network, and then build up from there. You can't build a house without a foundation, and your foundation should be sound. It shouldn't go off schizophrenic stuff that we're about to read. It shouldn't go off other people's experiences because honestly, they're quite irrelevant to a certain degree. Like if somebody asked me on my opinion, like, why would you do it this way? I can give them a million reasons why, but it might not fit their needs. It might not even fit their it might not even fit their life. It might not even be relevant. It might not even be a threat. A lot of people have came to me and asked me, how do I hide from the government? You just can't. It's just not possible. Hiding from the government is something that you are just never going to be able to do. And this is going to hurt some people's brains. You are a citizen with a social ID, like a social security or like whatever you have in your current government. I mean, a form of identification. You have a birth certificate. You have a license. You have to update them. You pay taxes. I mean, I could go on a million things that will point to you. If the feds want to find you, they will find you. If the feds want to indict you, they will indict you. It is simple. There's no way around it. There's no fighting the system like the movies like to portray it is. Obviously, the only way you can fight the feds in our current, in the United States and freedom burger land is through the court system. And 98%, I don't know what the conviction rate is. If somebody wants to fucking drop, I think it's like a 98 or 89 or 94% conviction rate. It's insane. It's insanely high for a reason because they know they're going to win. Now, are there cases of people beating the system and beating them in court? Absolutely, sure. Nothing's 100%. But to not harp on, beat a dead horse and beat a horse's cock into the ground or anything, if the feds want you, they will get you. I mean, plain and simple. You need to make one mistake, and they can make 99. They can make 9 million mistakes up into you. And you just need to make one. So keep that in mind. You'll just get off the internet, honestly, if you that's what you're concerned about. That's the perfect way. Be a normal citizen, wear your normal clothes, beat your meat or whatever, and work a regular W-2 and just go home and smoke crack or whatever. It's not the point. The point is, if now you want to get to the rational side, like I want these advertisers to stop. I want to get spams calling stop. I want to fight tech surveillance or surveillance capitalism. Absolutely possible. I mean, people do it all the time. There's I'm going to stop you right here. If you want to be completely private in society, especially in America, you need fuck you money. I'm just going to say it plain and simple. You need fuck you money. And I mean it. Fuck you money is the only reason that you can completely be all these people selling these courses and all these people telling you how to be anonymous through this legal structure are fucking retards. They're selling you a scam. They are selling you a pipe dream. I can quite literally tell you, very plain and simple, it is very easy in America to pierce the corporate veil and find out who owns a company. It's very easy to find someone's address. It's not rocket science. Could it be that unless you have fuck you money and you don't make a single mistake in between, it is very difficult. And it's so hard. Here's a perfect example. If you go buy a house in America, it becomes public record. Everyone knows you own it. Whatever, that's fine. You could just tell people you fucking rent it or whatever, and the landlord forced you to fucking show your balls. If you want a private way to own property, you have to put it in a trust or an LLC. The LLC is kind of retarded. It doesn't really protect you because the corporate veil can be completely pierced. I mean, if you get into an accident, you don't know when you're going to get sued in your lifetime. You don't know when you're going to get into an accident. You don't know when you're going to fucking drop kick someone or and then they have to take you to court. I mean, there's lots of steps that can be made that will uncover you via LLC. That's what I'm saying. There's crackheads out there that think that they're immune to this ideology, like this legal structure. There's very few states that don't allow piercing the corporate veil. It's like the Delaware, New Mexico, and like a few other states that have very good privacy protections for corporate owners. But you have to live in those states. You can't just get a virtual address, go over there, put your car in there, put your insurance. That's a crime. Vote, whatever. That's a crime. And I'm just saying that's how the law is. Like if your insurance provider finds out you don't live there, that's not your dwelling unit, like 99.9% of the time, or whatever the legal threshold is, then it doesn't matter. So all these mistakes you can make, but if you get a trust and then you put your house in that trust first, you're good. There's almost virtually no paper trail to you. It's the trust. They own it. You can't do it afterwards. And it's expensive. Tons of states. It's not cheap in any state. It's expensive across the board. It's tens of thousands of dollars on top of the tens of thousands of dollars that you're paying to do it. Now, if you did it now, like say you bought it and you did it, you would have to do a lot of fucking paperwork, and you would have to make it super annoying to do. That's why my general advice is fake as much information that floats out there that makes it so annoying just to find out who you really are. You could get a virtual address in 5 to 6 to 7 to 8, 9, 10, 15, 20 states. And people are just going to think like, oh, this guy's just crazy or whatever. When you send packages to your house, you don't have to put your real name. It's not required. As long as it's not a legal document, it's not required. It doesn't matter. I order tons of shit. I change my name every week, That's because if my information ever gets leaked out there to a database, it's databases that I'm more worried about. Like, I don't like the idea of like someone again selling my data. All I do is just do that, put Tommy Tittyfucker on there. They don't care. They got their money. Preferably Monero if you can, which I don't own. So, you go very simple. You got to think like, you have to think like I don't want to say think like a hacker because that sounds gay. You have to think like what information does a data broker want from you? It's very simple. And how do you avoid it? And it's that becomes less simple. It's simple to find out what is after you. It's less simple to find out how to avoid what's after you because everyone's going to be different. VPNs aren't always the answer. Using Tor every day isn't always the answer. It's just too complicated. So you got to like take slow steps and like change, shift your mindset. The meme, but that's food for thought. That's my ADHD rant. I should get like a warning that like autism ADHD rant incoming, so people can Be like, I'm going to skip this. So, the U.S., we're going to look at something like this. Change your mindset. Such a good meme. Meow, 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 meow. This is definitely one of the first, yeah, for real. Yo, it's Evo Dojo playing Metal Ball Solid. Well, based. Okay. So, the Thing, listening device. The Thing is known as the Great Seal Bug. It was one of the first covert listening devices or bugs to use passive techniques to transmit audio signal. It was concealed inside a gift given by the Soviet Union to W. Averill Harman, the United States ambassador to the Soviet Union in 1945. He was probably a mole, and he probably did this on purpose. We'll never know though. Because it was passive, needing electromagnetic energy from an outside source to become energized and active. It is considered a predecessor of the radio frequency identification technology, RFID, which is kind of the crazy thing is that this worked with, it just needed electromagnetic energy from an outside source to become energized and active. It could totally operate without a power source. This is crazy that someone fucking figured this out. True autism. The Thing consists of a tiny captive membrane connected to a small quarter wavelength antenna. It had no power supply or active electronic components. The device, a passive cavity resonator, became active only when the radio signal of the correct frequency was sent to the device from an external transmitter. This is referred to the NSA parlance as illuminating a passive device. Sound waves from voices inside the ambassador's office passed through the thin wood case, striking the membrane and causing it to vibrate, and were retransmitting by the Thing. The receiver demodulated the signal so that the sound picked up by microphones could not be so the sound picked up by the microphone could be heard, just as an ordinary radio receiver demodulates radio signals and output sounds. Its design made the listening device very difficult to detect because it's very small, had no power supply, or active electronic components. And it did not radiate any signals unless it was actively being irradiated remotely. This same design feature, along with the oversimplicity of the device, made it very reliable and gave it potentially unlimited operational life, which is fucking insane. If they never discovered this, think about how much different history would have been. The device consists of a 9-inch long monopole antenna. But it was also able to act as a half wave, 600 megahertz, or full wave, 1,320 megahertz. The accounts differ. Given the radio technology of the time, the frequency of 330 megahertz is most likely equivalent to the wavelength of 91 centimeters. It used a straight rod led through an insulating bushing into a cavity where it was terminated with a round disc that formed one plate of a capacitor. This sounds like fucking magic too, by the way. Like, it sounds like absolute schizophrenic technology that shouldn't exist. Okay. The existence of the bug was discovered accidentally. Oh, wait. So 1945. So 7 years. Wait, 6 years. Oh, wait, 7 years. Yeah, 6 or 7. 6, 7? The existence of the bug was discovered accidentally in 1951 by a British radio operator at the British Embassy who overheard an American conversation on an open Soviet Air Force radio channel. As the Soviets were beaming radio waves to the ambassador's office, an American State Department employee was able to reproduce the results using an untuned wideband receiver with a simple diode detector to demodulator, similar to some field's strength meters. 2 additional State Department employees, John W. Ford and Joseph, the fuck that last name is, were sent to Moscow March 1951 to investigate this and other suspected bugs in the British and Canadian embassy buildings. They conducted counter surveillance sweeping of the ambassador's office using a signal generator to receive an in setup that generates audio feedback howl if the sound from the room it is transmitted on a given frequency. During the sweep, then you found the device in the great steel carving. Looks like you should never accept gifts. The Federal Bureau of Investigations, Central Intelligence Agency, and the National Research Laboratory and other U.S. agencies analyzed the device along with the assistance for the British government agency, M15, and the British Marconi Company. Marconi technician Peter Wright, a British scientist and later an M15 counterintelligence officer, ran the investigation and was able to get the thing working reliably with a limiting frequency of 800 megahertz. The generator which had discovered the device was tuned to 1800 megahertz. The membrane of the thing was extremely thin. It was damaged during the handling by the Americans. Wright had to replace it. Very American thing to do. The simplicity of the device caused some initial confusion during its analysis. The antenna and resonator had several resonator frequencies in addition to its main one, and the modulation was particularly both amplitude and modulated and frequently modulated. The team also lost some time on assumption that the distance between the membrane and the thing and the tuning post need to be increased to increase resonance. Yeah. In 2025, John Lotha, a 79-year-old specialist in counter surveillance, built a functioning replica of this thing as part of the long-standing research into covert listening devices. A document about this reconstruction premiered 2025 and is scheduled for public screening at the same year. Oh, nice. Based, actually. Fucking based. Okay. There's this other one. Inject all. No, not your. It wasn't your TV. FBI. What is it? Yes, Weeping Angel. CIA hacking tools revealed. This one's kind of interesting. Last one was from 2018. Okay. Weeping Angel extending engineer notes. Discovered delete and download key files are sensitive to any new characters. Found configuration file and settings that manages automatic updates. Added features to periodically reacquire also audio device while in fake offline mode. This was a suppress LEDs to improve look of fake offline mode. Ported and modified Tiny Shell to provide shell command execution. We now paranoid. For real. This one's interesting. This one's an interesting one because it's obviously there. Anything can be exploited. Like we have to be realistic. That's a very oversimplified and slightly hyperbolic take, but this is what like generally my argument is when people are like, how do I hide from the government? Well, I'm not saying you have anything to hide. I'm not making that. I think that's a stupid idea. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have the right to privacy. But if you are committing a very heinous crime and the FBI wants to catch you, they're going to catch you. They're going to do it. It's going to happen. Unlimited money, time, resources can fuck up a million times. You, broke, gay, one fuck up. Who do you think's going to win? Do the math. FBI son or paranoid daughter. That's what you gotta ask yourself. So it's just the reality of it. But it's cool to learn about this stuff because it's obviously people have made mistakes, and these mistakes should operational mistakes and security mistakes are a goldmine for people that love OPSEC. You should actually be ecstatic and excited people are fucking up, because then, not to tell you to do crime or anything, it shows you what is a threat, how possible the threat is, like what is the likelihood of the threat. It's like a fucking chart on how to make this threat. Is this threat real? Is it a real thing? Is it going to affect me? Does it have any form of possibility of threat? And how can I mitigate it? One of them is like a smart TV. Don't probably buy one. And if you do, make sure it never connects to the internet. Or put it on a VLAN. And maybe rip out the microphone. I don't know. Something to think about. Suppress LEDs to improve look of fake offline mode. Ported and modified Tiny Shell to provide shell command execution file transfer. This version is known as P-Shell since it's a shell functionality. Functionality really is a wrapper around Popin calls and emulates shell-like functionality. Add features to prevent updates and IP table rules to ported IP-based applications to this platform. Damn. Because updates might fix this. So, received sanitized source code from the UK with comms and encrypted remove. Tested firmware on version 111, 112, 1116, and characterized various recording qualities, file size, and noise cancellation. Mute. Factory reset with TV powered off. Enter the following key, press the remote. Build a console cable. Turn on or leave Wi-Fi turned on fake offline mode. Parse unencrypted audio collection. Clean up the file format and saved audio. Add encryption, ? Streaming audio, video captured, video snapshots. Samsung offers remote support. Is this the area of functionality to investigate? Is the browser of any default apps vulnerability to man-in-the-middle attacks? Disable auto upgrade by changing the config file. Updating firmware over the internet may remove implant not tested, a portion of the implant. The crazy thing about this is, again, I'm gonna like maybe interrupt myself. The crazy thing is, if they do achieve this, this makes sense because I think the operating system it's running is not like actual Android or anything. Where if this was like something like Graphene OS, where it's like Android and sandboxed and preventing like this even happening to like a certain degree, that'd be awesome. But a lot of these TVs get just like some outdated free and open source software that they can somewhat maintain. Because they don't, obviously, they're not a TV that you're buying for $300. It's for a reason. Anyone who uses LibreWolf shouldn't be taken serious, though. Build environment uses Ubuntu, unfortunate, and G++ 4.7 compiler due to dependencies on Devlin. Current build system references compilers without version numbering. To accommodate, create the following symbolic links. Start the same as download, update data, zip files. BussyBox, my favorite, DreamHost, GCC, ARM Linux. Wow. Weeping Angel Time Research. That's crazy. The crazy part is like a lot of people have a smart TV. And a lot of people get them because they're so cheap. I never know the title is real or fake. That's how it should be. The title the title should always be perceived as is uncertain. These titles come seconds before I go live. I don't even think about them. Amazon Atlas. Well, your microwave probably isn't listening to you, but your TV definitely is. Today, October 11, 2018, WikiLeaks published a highly confidential internal document from the cloud computing provider Amazon. The document from late 2015 lists the address and some operational detail over 100 data centers and spreads across 15 cities in 9 countries. To accompany this document, WikiLeaks also created a map showing if Amazon's data centers are located. Its IAD 77 data centers document says the Amazon is known as Vede Industries. Amazon entered a $600 million contract with the CIA to build the cloud used by intelligence agencies, which is kind of crazy. I think, what was it? Ring Door NSA contract makes a comeback. All right, if I could spell. And it's a remember, it's how you search, not where you search. Ring doorbells and public cameras, how modern surveillance challenges the Fourth Amendment. This is by a woman. In neighborhoods across the United States, a quiet transformation is underway. The familiar chime of a doorbell is now often accompanied by the soft glow of camera lens and capturing every visitor, delivery driver, and passerby. Our city's streets, hundreds of thousands of public cameras watch over intersections, public square feet, analyzed by increasing sophisticated software, the ever-presenting network of digital eyes, both private and public, and is promoted as a powerful tool for safety and security. The thing is, I'm gonna stop and yell into the cloud for a second. I think it's important to be able to protect your castle, in a sense, in the most cringiest way that I just explained it, which is kind of gay. I think people should be able to protect their home. They should be able to protect their interest and their property. I mean, it's just something that you spend a lot of money on and you spend a lot of time on. It's something like, it's like no different than a car. It's no different than anything else that you purchase. Your property is not only your biggest investment, it's your longest investment. I mean, 30 years. Most people don't own things for 30, most people don't pay for stuff for 30 fucking years. It's just the reality of it. But it's like we have the technology today to increase our awareness and our security, but it's now being used against us. The idea of, I think when Ring first launched, somebody with a triple IQ, was like, you know what? This is going to be worthless now, but it's going to be worth gold in the future. And the next time you are in your neighborhood, just walk around and look at everyone's house 99% of the time, you're going to see at least one house, more than one, but 99% of the time, you're probably going to look, you're going to see fucking Ring doorbells everywhere. Like, at least one. I do. I go on, like, regular bike rides, and I'm just like, Ring doorbell, Ring doorbell, Ring doorbell, Ring doorbell. And there is an argument for it, but the problem is it's not your data, it's not your hardware, it's in the cloud, and it's a problem. And there's not too many companies out there that make look like free, false open source ones. You can kind of make one with a Raspberry Pi, obviously, which would be cool. I know there was a company that I was looking at that was trying to get funding to make one, and I would have bought it immediately. Like, immediately would have bought it. If you look at, I think they didn't meet their funding goal, which I hope I hope they come back. I hope they come back and it's fucking based and people will fund it, like 100%. Because we need free and open source options. Like, we need open printer. I always come back to the site for some reason. I'm a crackhead, apparently. Because I like open source. Like, even just having the option to have an open source vehicle diagnostics. I mean, $89 is nothing. So the thing is, you don't know what software is running under. You don't know what software is running under the hood of something that you're putting in your car. You don't know where it's going. You don't know what it's doing with it. So just keep that in mind. Like, I only bought a KVM because it was open source. It was completely open source. It was super audited, and people were like, yeah, this is based. And the thing is, KVM gives you tons of access, so, like, you should really think about that one. What is it? Ring? I think it was called Chime. Yeah. Sad. Buzzkill, though. They only got 6,000 funding. But it was a smarter way to welcome your visitors. My favorite tribe. What's up, homie? Welcome to Fusion Chime. Welcome to my balls, is what I would say. Oh, it's going. I hope you're doing well, man. I was so pissed when this didn't get it. And this was only last year. Ring Video Doorbell 2. Open source? No. And gay. And this would have been $100, man. Fusion Chime Doorbell. Possible via open protocol. MQTT based. It's $89. What are you talking about tonight? Things that are listening, definitely listening to you in your house. Where your microwave is definitely listening. I'd buy if I could just give this man $100. You know what I mean? To get it, I would give him $300. Flock cameras carry $250 worth of silver. Just FYI. So funny. Looks like I'm going hunting tonight, guys. Vampire hunting. I'm so pissed. That this didn't work out. They made this cool ass thing called the Bench Volt. A 5-channel 100-watt open source USB powered supply with support. I don't know what the fuck I would never use this. God, I hate people. They really fucking flock. They really dropped the ball on this one. But whatever, you know. Maybe someone else will. Look, anyone that brings an open source Ring version doorbell, I will fund it. I will, not fully, obviously. I'm not that fucking, I don't have that much money. But I will put money towards it. Measuring antenna gain radiation patterns? I need it. Open source cameras are getting hard to come by. I think they're just afraid. I think that there's only a few companies that own a lot of the components that make it really, really, really good. And it's a very niched product. I would love an open. I would like a Ring doorbell, not by Ring, but just a version of it, to be able to open up my phone, look at who's at my door, and oh yeah, just come in. Here's my unlock. Here's the unlock code. Or if someone's just delivering something. What is up, Slow Bear Dick? What's up, brother? I know where you live. In your balls. That's what a Fed would say. So there's not much of a supply and demand for people to want a product like this. I don't think there's enough demand for it. Otherwise, it would have been funded. I mean, they got 35%. Is that GNOME? Yeah, of course. Real Chads use GNOME. Actually, Real Chads use something lighter, but I have RAM to spare. I honestly don't know who the fuck needs this. A battery-powered Home Assistant compatible valve for smart water control in your home. I have no idea who the fuck would need this. I don't even know what it would be used for. But it's cool. Yeah, N-Wave channels as signals can hook up your tablet to make heart pulse through walls. What? N-Wave channels or signals can hook up to tablet to make heart pulses through your walls. Oh, for what? Oh, like where Wi-Fi? Are you talking about like Wi-Fi, where Wi-Fi can discover people? Because if that's what you're saying, that's true. I like when Zigbee is always the option and not fucking Wi-Fi. Professional assistance required. Easy DIY. Yeah, I don't know what. Yep. Oh, yeah, Wi-Fi, yeah, definitely. They've discovered that Wi-Fi can 100% determine if you're in a room or not. For sure. Weeping Angel is crazy even. Open source, Weeping Angel is actually crazy because it's modifying a smart TV to think that you think it's off, which is, I mean, that in itself is crazy. The Thing is crazy. This was fucking over, 100 years ago at this point? Very long time ago. I mean, that's pretty based. I'll have to give you a nice Chinese mic, like a DJI mic. Patent use 2003. If this is a real patent, I'll laugh. I don't really care that it's made from China. That doesn't bother me as much, actually, surprisingly. I think China makes some good products. DJI is pretty based. Let's see. Is this a real patent? Watch, it's just going to show furries. Yeah. Yeah, nice doing an audit. But is it an audit that I trust? With the Monero I don't own. Patentgoogle.com. When's this from? 2001. Actually, it was from 2001, dude. You should be automatic L now, man. Designed to be trustless, in my opinion. Oh, in my application. I like actually. So, like, memes aside, I like Monero One. I think it's great. I just don't know Joe. And Cakewall, it's been around long enough. I don't think there's any security implementations that I would be concerned about. They do, but they do spy. Don't use their software. Microsoft. Cryptocurrency seem using body activity data. Oh yeah. I mean, the microplant chipping thing, I don't believe in. I mean, that's just retarded. So this is. I'm going to be a devil's advocate. Sometimes companies will just buy patents. That's it. I know there's some are like probably malicious, but this is just the reality. Some companies will never do anything with it. They buy patent. They're patent hogs. Patent hogs are a real thing, and it's a problem. I, on a personal level, do not like patents. I think patents are, regarding the audit, yep, you do right to not trusting it. The Cake Wallet, I have audited their code. I've got in contact with the devs. They sell it. So on the patent thing, I don't like patents because I think it's anti-capitalist in its nature. You are infringing on like technology that could be better. And Joe does closed source software products, but this is his first open source project, is what I've known. For sure. I think closed source is whatever. You're entitled to. I have an opinion about closed source. Patents are for chicken shit people. Yeah. Do you know Coca-Cola does not patent their product? Because they would have to release their formula. And they are a successful company. Coca-Cola is very successful. Patents are gay. They're anti-capitalist, in my opinion. Like they're anti a lot of things. I don't think they're productive. They don't increase innovation. They're just, and there's patent hogs. There are people that literally just go out and patent shit, and it's just slimy. And beyond that, they don't do anything with them. Sometimes they just grab patents because they maybe 40 years from now, it might be a thing. The closed source software thing is, I understand that some people want to protect their intellectual property so no one can steal it and copy it. And I've heard the arguments for proprietary software, and it's fine. It's whatever. I just don't try to use it. I don't. L system. Yeah. My opinion, it's not a fact. No. I would say patents are for chicken shits, which is a fun word that we should bring back. It's kind of funny. The difference isn't good. The thing is about proprietary software, in a sense, is you can open source it, and in reality, if someone can just kind of look at it and be like, oh, I can reverse engineer or make something like that or make it better. Patents is a legal structure where you can get sued into the ground because someone thinks like, they copied my patent. Like a cuck. Like, software is kind of a difficult realm for people to be like, unless you literally just copy their code. But what's patent a ray or a laser that makes you gay? That already exists. It's called it's called soy. No lasers needed. It's been proven that soy makes you gay, guys. I'm kidding. I love soy. Soy gang over here. I'll even say that that's like if Raspberry Pi patent their devices. Um, yeah, for sure. That'd be an L. The thing is, your company can benefit from open source, 100%. If people see it and they're like, "Hey, actually, I have this great idea. We should implement it and implement it in the product that already exists." And it can happen. And there's ways you can get like people think open source, no money, free work, like you know what I mean, like socialist libre pee pee poo poo. No, you can definitely make money in the open source community, 100%. It's soy, like fucking soy based products. By the way, you need a chair, bro. Gonna make a Kuno for that. Oh, are you like? Is my chair that squeaky? For real? Soy, like fucking soy based products. Yeah, I eat tons of soy. I love soy. Soy sauce. What's a Kuno? I don't understand Spanish, man. I only speak American. Oh. Yo, look, honestly, I got a gamer chair, and it was dumb. Sit on the ground? No, that'd be gay. Sitting on the ground is for gays. Real men sit in chairs, made in China. I'll say that, like, I got a gaming chair and I regret it. They're not ergonomical. What the fuck? What the? Join this. I can't even say that. It's fucking retarded. Slow Bear can only say that because he's in South America. In South America, it's acceptable. It's acceptable to be brown and say racial slurs. White people can't do this. Not yet. We need a couple more years. No, real men sit on nice area. Okay, right? Area rugs are for fags. I'm sorry. I would never be caught dead with. I would never be caught dead with an area rug at my house. Why would you only need a rug for one area? Cortisol, we're super racist here and we allow white people to be racist. Oh, correcto, of course. It's South America. I talk to Europeans all the time. They're racist all the time. To their own people, even. Europeans are like super racist. Like people think like America's racist, so get your ass here. I'll get you a Latina. That's how I go missing. Look, I've seen the movies. I know what happens to white people when they go south of the border. What's that one show? I watched what's the fucking show? It's that show where they got like Ecuadorians are like super in love with anything white. Of course, because we have good credit scores and access to credit cards and clean water. What is that? Before I continue, before my autism gets kicked in, cracks open a White Monster, America. Yeah, no, beer man. White Monster is objectively the best one though. What is the name of that? Damn it. What was I gonna look up? Fuck. No, because here they all brown. If it's brown, I'm down. Damn it! I was gonna look up something, but the crack open a White Monster America reduced my my memory to 0 because it was funny. Fuck! What was I talking about? I said something about credit scores. being white. It's all right. I'll remember sometime. I'll remember at some point. The thing is too is like Europeans are like they like Europeans hate immigration. They don't like immigration. They don't like brown people. You were talking about a TV show series or a movie about white people in South America. Was it really? Huh. Was there a TV? Is there a TV series in South America? You're talking. Method source code is leaked on the Purple browser. I wouldn't use it because there are there's a lot of fakes. Like there's a lot of people faking it, and you might download malware by accident. Is there a TV series about white people in America? Oh, white people in South America? Oh, yes. Oh, fuck. Oh, you're right, Slow. Confirmed. Last time I checked with some friends that leak wasn't real. If it is, it's nice. Yeah, I think it's a powerful thing, but I wouldn't download it, wouldn't trust it. I've already seen a lot of fake source codes out there that people are just downloading malware. Locked Up Abroad, that's what it was. Hell yeah. That show was crazy good. Thank God for VMs. Yeah. Yeah, I would. I mean, there's malware that's VM aware, meaning that you could download it. It could be aware that it's in a VM, and it could just. I like whites only. That's all right. There's nothing wrong with liking your own people. Hack into another dude's VM, then try to be a man. Being a man's gay, actually. Because if you think about it, kissing women is gay. If you kiss a woman, that's kind of gay. Because women like men. So you're kissing. And you know what's funny is the Icon 2020 said he likes whites only. They didn't specify which gender, so that could be very progressive of him. He didn't say women. So for all we know, he could like white men, which is fine. I respect people of all sexualities as long as it's legal. And I don't care if it's legal in your country as long as it's ethical. Void women are real. I did not know. Well, I mean, of course, void women are real. I mean, 4chan exists. What was that girl's name? Jessie. She runs a. I'm so straight that I only get dudes. Pure testosterone. Yeah, if you think about it, get testosterone from the source. It's the right thing to do. Stay thuggin', bro. Firewall working 2.5 than usual. I ran getting Lego with it. Fuck the. Yeah, for real. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, fuck pedophile. You can just say pedophiles. I don't have any. I don't think. I don't like words like that because I think it desensitizes it. Like grape. I don't like the people that use the word grape in real life. Just say rape, dude. What's up, the uncommon sense Australian man? Hope you're doing good, man. I think a lot of these words that we do, like suicide and PDF files, we use these words and it takes the severity of it and it drops it to I think it takes the severity of it and drops it to be way too normal. I believe that people could just say just say those words, and because I don't know, I hear people unironically in real life say it, and it's dude, you're in front of me, you're not fucking on Twitter, chill. And it's kind of gay, actually. It's kind of gay. Make Androgenic lose his hair. Oh wait. Androgenic self-yeet. Yeah, self-yeet. Yeah, I mean, self-yeet's kind of funny, actually. If someone said self-yeet, that'd be pretty funny. I'd be okay with that. If there's someone's I'm gonna yeet myself, that's kind of based. That's how I would do it. If I was gonna kill myself, I'd be all right, time to yeet myself. Later. What up, brother? Good morning from from around the world. I love having global audience because it's funny. Except for Australia. They're practically British. I would even say that Portugal, yeah. That's where like all the people, if you want to become like a European citizen, you go to Portugal. I think it's the easiest. I believe it's the easiest country. Yo, what's up, brother? Anime pictures. Yo, the mic. Damn the mic. Oh, is my mic loud? What up, Jordy? I believe, yeah, a lot of people use Portugal as we're about a bunch of kids with downers in the tribe. You using the Linux built-in mic? No, it might be just different on Twitch for whatever reason. Using the Linux built-in mic. Yep, constantly using softening language. World War One, they had war shock. World War Two, they had shell shock. Now they have CPTSD and other distancing. A bit loud, yeah. Damn it. My voice is traveling. Oh, I can just adjust that. Cool. Good. Bass now? Yeah, of course I have Discord. Yeah, I think softening, like there are some things like in language that we shouldn't soften. I believe that, yeah, it's basically the easiest way to get EU citizenship. Interesting. Yeah, I think that there are some things in our language that we should just not soften. It's just, it's not about the context. It's like rape is a really bad thing. I don't get excited about the word rape. Like, I don't get excited when people get raped. I think it's objectively a terrible thing. Or when people get sexually assaulted. So when people are like, I got SA'd, it's like, fuck you. Just say it. It's a bad thing. It sucks. And that person needs, bad things. Talking about a lot of things. My ADHD gets kicked in because the audience knows. They're self-aware. They're self-aware to my my diagnosed ADHD. My ADHD is definitely real though. That's not. You play Steam? I'm gonna do like once a week. I'm gonna play a chess game with everyone. Like I'll play once a week. I will be doing chess with the audience. Like anyone who wants to challenge me in chess. I think it would just be fun. I'm not good at chess. So fair, bro. My ADHD is bad. Mine's bad. I would like to, medication would not be a bad thing. Summary, use your fucking right to free speech. Yeah. It's not even just like a free speech thing. I think it's people's right to not use words, but to soften words for comfortability is not a good thing. I think that it's from a psychological standpoint, it's not a good thing to soften your speech for, like, if a friend came to me and they're like, hey, that word makes me uncomfortable, I'm not going to be an asshole and just start using the word for no reason. But it would be a conversation. It would be a different conversation. AUDHD here? Yeah. I definitely have, like, undiagnosed autism, but diagnosed ADHD for real. But I think that, like, if, like, a person that came to me and they're like, hey, this word makes me uncomfortable, like, I just prefer you not to use it. That's completely different. They're not limiting my speech. They're asking me to, like, it's like taking off my shoes in their house. That's how I equate to it. But if they're just like, don't use that word, I would be then, I guess, like, it's kind of depending how you approach me. I think if someone approaches me, softening speech is the slippery slope to censorship. Yeah, sure, 100%. Yeah, I agree with that. I think when universally people start using ideological terms that soften real problematic things in society, that is not a good thing. I understand our language is going to change as a society. Like, we are going to use things differently from 50 years from now, 20 years from now. Yeah, for sure. I think that is a problem when we use things that when we use a form of speech that softens real world problematic things, that's different than our language evolves. Like, our language is going to evolve. Uncommon sense, 100% yeah based. Yeah, for real. Bro talking in non-English. Yeah. System of a Down prison song. What do I think about? I think there are things that in society, like we will change as our language change. That's just normal. Like, I'm not gonna say whoop nanny or fucking, like bus and bussy 20 years from now. Anybody here that isn't 80s is in the wrong place, for real. Yeah, true. But in hindsight, I think there is things that us as people will like not evolve, but I think us as people, we know like murder is bad. We're not gonna come up. I'm in an ADHD. Yeah, for real. I feel seen, guys. Like that. Like, I feel seen. Like, that's a thing I would have never said like 30 years ago or whatever. I feel seen because it's kind of funny. Like, there's language that we're gonna adapt and like use in general, and I think that's fine. But I think when we take serious topics like the word, like if someone was like, I was raped last night, I can't take you serious. Not after seeing this though. Like, if you look at this, we'll get back on topic in a second, guys. Hold on. We came for the listening microwave. That's the audience knows the autism is real. But it, like, when some, like, oh, where is it? I got groped. The fuck? This is what I'm talking about. Shit like this you see on here, like, YouTube knows. The Grapist. This is what I think of. I hope I don't get a DMCA strike. Damn it! Microwave, yes. Your microwave is listening to you. You just don't know it yet. I mean, smart TVs would be fucking... Smart refrigerators would be the worst, probably. Like, when people say they've been, like, use the word grape, I think of this. Unironically. This is the first thing that comes... Tylenol people here only, for real. The old self-indulged, hyper-focused brain and kicking in. This is the greatest thing they've ever done. Retard thermostat. Yeah, who said that? Who told me to pause every 12 seconds to not get fucked? Good. Oh, damn, it's 43 seconds. I didn't pause enough. Fuck. This was the Grapist from The Whitest Kids You Know was literally the greatest thing they've ever done. Yeah. This was my introduction to them. This was the funniest shit they have quite literally ever done. I will never... Dude, does anyone know about this guy dying apparently mysteriously? I'm not saying he was exposing anything, but he like literally... We were looking on stream. I didn't even know that's how he died. But he like mysteriously like fell off his balcony. Oh yeah, someone like pointed out he made a bunch of skits making fun of like Israel or something. Workaholics most slept on show. Oh, Workaholics was great. Workaholics fucking gold. I will go rewatch that show all the time. The Whitest Kid You Know was dropping hard truths really early. Yeah. I mean, most comedians are just self-aware of stuff that's going on, so it's not like a conspiracy theory to be self. If you're a self-aware person, it kind of makes sense. Workaholics is fucking hilarious. I will go rewatch that show all the time. Like someone pointed this out. This was 10 months ago, by the way. Oh, man.
Asked me to come out. Okay, thank you for waiting. The president has asked me to come out and make a brief statement about the wire that just went out a couple minutes ago.
Somebody told me George Carlin, G's the most self-aware comedian. Play Cyberpunk 27 DLC and pay attention to all the details.
To make things short,
I can't. I'm on Linux. What was the
I will just confirm that yes, we do have a moon base, and yes, we are currently experiencing some bear problems.
bear problems? You see. I mean, like I think there are some people just in this space. They're just so aware. They're very aware to like what's going on in current events, and they do it in such a comedic way. Most people don't have time for politics, and like most people don't have time for global events, and most people don't have time for what's going on. Like, just ask your average like person that you meet. They're like, oh, like just bring up any form of idea of encryption, any form of dystopian technology that's spying on you, and they will always answer. Say it with me. I have nothing to hide. Yes. You know, I wish I could have a unison. If I ever get a fucking like soundboard, I would drive that into the fucking universe. I have nothing to hide. Because people have been kind of brainwashed into thinking like that. It's not about having anything to hide. It's literally about you having the right to hide stuff. True Man, the dark humor with a hint of current events is amazing. Proton via stream, that's it. Oh, I know. I'm just. Come on, dude. I run Void Linux. I'm not a queer. I don't run Debian. So my system works. I don't use System D in this house. This is a System D free. That's okay. So like, I'm looking at getting a T-shirt maker. I'm looking to get a T-shirt maker, and I should make a shirt that says System D free. I gotta think of a slogan. System D free. I have to pee. No, that's not going to work. I'm not gay. I don't use System D. System D is gay. In it. Get it? In it. Like I'm a British person. System D is being gay. In it. Fuck System D. All my homies hate System D. Life is better without System D. Like in like cursive. But I want to get a T-shirt printer and do so I can expose my hate for System D. I will buy the shit out of that shirt. Pay you Monero. Debian. I'll think of it. I'll think of like but Debian is still Debian based and LTS software. I mean, my hatred towards Debian is beyond System D. System D just sucked. I am more of a fan of OpenRC. I get it just to make a regular Linux user mad, worth every exploit. That's the only payment, no Stripe, nothing. But the thing I hate about like the System D init system and just Debian in general is mainly comes from a form of like. Debian is very controlling on like how it gets its software out to people. Like it's kind of like, hey, use us kind of thing. They're very like Ubuntu is very corporate-y, canonical, corporation behind it, and it kind of that is like a more of like I guess like a semantical hate, not semantical. What's the word I'm looking for? It is purely based on an opinion. I don't like a lot of the corporate structure of how like System D works and how Debian works and Ubuntu works, even Fedora, like that like it's very it's corporate Linux, and it has been for a long time, and it's understandable. They need to make their money, but a lot of on the technical side, I don't like LTS software. Like going from a regular LTS distro to a rolling release was life changing. I mean, like when I discovered Arch Linux, I was like, oh, this is great. I can just update my system. It'll work. I like bleeding edge. I get everything up, ahead of time. And then I had a problem with snapshots. And I don't know why I left Garuda. There's no reason. I didn't leave Garuda because I dislike Garuda. But something happened with my system, and I needed to go do a rollback with ButterFS. By the way, ButterFS sucks. I fucking hate it. And I never want to use it again. I just discovered, someone mentioned Void Linux, and I just tried it. I tried it in a virtual machine. I tested it for like 2 weeks in a virtual machine, and then I fucking rolled with it. And I was like, this is amazing. I love this. The package manager kind of sucks because I am dyslexic as fuck. So, like, if you look at the, like, package manager, it's XBPS, but my brain is like fucking say something else or type it a different way. Then there's another problem with you have to understand the mirrors, and XBPS is a great package manager. I love it. And I had a mirror issue for a minute that I fixed by, like, Void is rolling with stability in mind. Rolling release, I've never had an issue with rolling release software. I don't understand why people have a problem with it. I even took Alpine. I took Alpine and turned it into rolling release. You can actually change it to it. Been checking, and yep, you're right about Debian. So many recommendations. Not gonna lie, I hate Arch or heavy stuff like that. No brain to do everything from scratch. Super used to sudo apt install. Oh, super used to noted. So if you want to go away, like I understand server wise, Ubuntu, I use Ubuntu. Ubuntu's fine. It's as a server, it's fine. It works, it's fine. I do like Alpine in some places, depending on resources. And I have used Gentoo, and it's fine. But on the desktop side, I do use like CubesOS on my West. What's up, Billy? Isn't it past your bedtime? On Debian, I know Ubuntu. Not Ubuntu. On Cubes, I mainly use Fedora, because Fedora, at least at the bare minimum, cares about progressing into secure environments and secure technology and adopting Wayland and making some good decisions when it comes to actually fixing a lot of the problems in Linux. But in reality, I like to port HVMs like Void and some other Linux distributions straight to Cubes, because it's just about user choice at the end of the day. I think user choice is more important than anything. You should have the choice to run whatever software you want at the end of the day. It's your machine. It's your software and your time at the end of the day, ultimately. And that's where I get conflicted with some things that I know are more secure and better, and I think they should be ported to Linux. But I understand that Linux is not a homogeneous machine, and it's going to have different opinions. It doesn't mean they're right. They want to do it differently. Going to check out Gay2 then. Oh, Gay2. Billy uses Gay2 because he has only like 2 gigs of RAM. But if you want to check out Void, Slow Bear Digger, I'm gonna show you something. If you're a fan of Puppy Linux and you want to use Void without committing to Debian, because Debian's gay, they make Void Pup. So if you don't want to install Void Linux at all, you have to, you have to do like install Void. All right, show us. Yeah, for sure. I use Gen 2 on the ThinkPad, 8 gigs of RAM, and main computer, 16 gigs of RAM. Why don't you did you ever get Void Linux, not Void Linux, Gen 2 computing, where you can make like all the computing power combined to do compiling? Yeah, Puppy Linux was on my first government laptop. You work for the government? I knew he was a Fed, guys. We're going to force quit that. I can never get boxes to work, though, which is kind of interesting. I don't really care about it. Or does the government just give you laptops? So this is actually a very light distro. If you really want light and it just works, Void Linux install, it's honestly awesome. I got to get Redux to work. No, I had one when I was in the university. Oh, okay. I figured. So this is, I got it to work with a gig of RAM, but we're going to do 3042. I have DiskZZ installed on the main computer, but not the ThinkPad yet. You should do it now. How are you going to compile together? So 4 cores, I'm giving it 3 gigs of RAM, and I got it down to 130 megabytes of usage. That is insanely small. I mean, it's like tiny Linux small. So with Void Pup 22.2, do not copy SFS files to RAM. You will use more resources, and it will use more, not just more resources. It will make things, it says faster, but it does. I don't see the difference. So don't copy SFS files to RAM. You will save resources on your RAM, and it will still function fine. I got 16 gigs of RAM on my main, late 2012, so easy, and holy fuck, yeah, that's insane. What about at idle? At idle, I got it down to 134 megabytes of RAM. Oh shit, yeah, it is fucking awesome. So it's very nice looking. It's very Windows looking, very Windows-ish. It says I'm in Hong Kong, obviously, because I am, konnichiwa or whatever. Press OK. And it does this. So Puppy Linux has always been based on Debian. They have a Void port. It's fucking amazing. Internet connection setup, need help, whatever. You can just kind of like skip out of this. Applications. Installing applications is actually pretty easy. We'll get to that in a second. But we're just going to open up a terminal. Utilities. Oh, I can just do it right here. My SP makes me use a router or modem. Don't lie to me. That's what an OS should use. It's pretty base, bro. Yeah, for real. Billy, quit lying to me. So if you look at it, has HTOP installed by default, 163 megabytes of RAM. And you can push that down by killing some processes in the background, like stuff you don't need. I fucked the firmware of my ISP router modem, took all that shit out. Bro, this is nostalgic as fuck. Yeah, for real. And it's very easy to install. You can install it like a normal Linux distribution. 163 megabytes of RAM. If you kill some of the background, stuff, like you don't need like cups or like Bluetooth. Cups is really for printers and stuff. You can knock this down to 130 megabytes of RAM. 160 is insane. Still. Like, that's impressive. And again, like I said, you can kill some of this. My GT only uses more RAM because it's optimized for battery life and ease of use. Billy, quit lying. This is what Gen 2 is just not as lightweight, man. It's bloated. Dude, I'm trying Void with that puppy flavor. Yeah, for sure. Now, to install stuff, it's kind of interesting. So it has a network firewall, which is kind of nice. My ThinkPad Gen 1 is running Garuda 32 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte of storage. Nice. Garuda is good. I think there's a big mode in my ISP router. Don't know. Oh, there's bridge. Yeah, so bridge mode, you could bridge it, but you should, I mean, if you can, always replace your router and your modem. So if you need to install, I think this is it. Install Puppy, install applications. So you do the Puppy package manager. You choose from an SFS file for the Arista repo and load S5 package. This stream reminds me of when I was 12 and trying every fucking Linux distro out there. Life was good back then. Oh yeah, I distro hopped for a long time. A very long time. I mean, I've touched so many Linux distributions at this point. Where is it? System, where did we find it? I can't replace neither the router nor the modem. Billy, do you live in China? Because that's what it's starting to sound like. Or was it utility? If I couldn't use regular Void Linux, I would switch to this. Immediately. Oh my god, I would have so much. Look, it has MPaint. It has Paint, guys. Just let that sink in. Let that sink in. Can we draw titties? Sam 7 distro for me. Yeah, Mental LL dropped a vid about routers. I don't live in China. My ISP just a bitch. That's what a person in China would say. Paint. So we're gonna draw boobs, because you should. Remember when you would draw boobs like this for no reason? For Slow Bear Digger, he would probably, he'd probably draw balls or something. Yeah, well, this is for Slow Bear. I mean, some cock. Fuck, I used to draw so many cocks. Yeah, see? I didn't even have to guess. I was locked in. I just saw it before going to bed. That's good. I'm glad Billy doesn't live in China either. He probably does though. Sad boobs. I can't paint, dude. I don't have a locked in. Look, your mouse can be used against you. Your optical gaming mouse can listen to your conversations. I'm good. I don't use them. I use inefficient non-optical mouse because I don't want my conversations to be leaked to the NSA. Thanks. I like cocks, but uncut. Not having foreskin is gay. In the gay way. He lives in China. Oh my god. I mean, there is an argument that we shouldn't. Circumcision is not that this is such a stupid conversation. Circumcision is actually kind of silly. There's no benefit to actually circumcision. Okay, there it is. Set up. Package manager. Shit, I knew about it, but a good friend of me got old gaming mouse, so I'll be keeping it. Yeah, for sure. Oh damn. Internet. Konnichiwa or whatever that means. Yeah, for real. Pale Moon. This is the web browser. Pale Moon is not currently. No. I'm just going to put no. So you can use Pale Moon. You lose feeling. Yeah. For sure. No, you do. There's actually, like I said, there's no benefit to circumcision. It's actually silly. I'm not going to say, like, I'm not going to be like one of those cringe people that are like, it's mutilation against their will because they're like, whatever. I mean, it happened. Later, Billy. Billy's already heard enough about circumcision. He's going back to China with his Chinese router. You met him at a very Chinese time, guys. The hoes? We love them.
From simply cooking rice to wearing slippers inside, people are making videos captioned, "You met me at a very Chinese time in my life."
The way I was seeing these videos were people using this phrase in a very tongue-in-cheek way.
Oh, yeah. Finna, yeah. That was 12 seconds, right? Looks early at 2000s IE, that motherfucker. See ya, Billy Bojangles. Fia for real. Everyone say goodbye to Billy. Be nice to him. He has a forced ISP router modem combo, and he finna turn Chinese. Poor guy. Bye, Billy. That's a banger right there. For real. It is. What the hell is that? ISP 4G uses their shit. Happens here in Ecuador. I believe it. Yeah, for sure. Tons of rock. I don't know how I found that video. Stuck at work using their shitty Wi-Fi. For real. Buenos noches, Billy. Yeah. Nice Italian, man. If you think about it, all you like, I don't know how I got down the rabbit hole, but there was like, I'm gonna take a shower. I just woke up, based as you should. Always clean yourself. Clean your hard drive. Clean your balls. Good life advice. Clean your hard drive. Clean your balls. $1. People are like, elaborate. You gotta be the only Linux user in El Salvador. I'm fat and weird Linux guy. I'm curious. All people here is just skinny and weird, or fat and weird. What a El Salvador thing to say. You're probably the only gay Linux user in El Salvador. Is El Salvador being gay in El Salvador even legal? I thought it would be. What is the gay population of El Salvador? Let's find out via. No. Oh wait. Not El Salvador. Sorry, my South American racism came out. I have to go back. I'm not gonna go back that far. It's like 100 messages. Ecuador? Same thing, right? Is it Ecuador or El Salvador? What's the difference? I think it's legal here in Ecuador. It is. Gay marriage is also legal if you want to get bear hugs first thing in the morning. True. The gay population in Ecuador, I'm not saying that many letters. That's too many. It's fine. We all yada bada brown people, wall jumpers, for real. Yeah, true. With significant legal advancements such as the legalization of same-sex marriage in 2019 and civil unions since 2008. However, societal attitudes remain conservative and dominant against the homos. You know, it's kind of crazy that it's legal in 2019. I mean, I think it's like I said, as long as it's legal, I think you should be able to marry whoever the fuck you want. I don't care which local AI anyone running. I run Llama and a few other like agents locally. Claude is actually a really good. I hate to say it, Claude is really good. I use Claude sometimes for. It's not good at. Claude isn't good at 3D printing very specific items, but it's good at some things. But Claude is really good. I've used Claude for a lot of things. I'm currently in that rabbit hole. There's some good AI models you can run locally. Claude's just the best. I would love Mythos to be released. It would be sick. But the thing is, like, I think people say, like, fuck AI. I think AI, if you understand code and you understand its limitations, it's just a tool. Like Slow Bearing Digger, he could be. What if he's doing Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, empires tend to be conservative, but in reality they're just retarded. On the AI part, Claude for me is the best part out there. Only if you, it's the best one. Oh, 100 per month is that what you're paying? I have Dolphin Mister. What the fuck is that? AI is nice. AI slop is not. Yes, exactly. I think AI for content creation is a problem. I think like if you're replacing like artists and you're trying to make music and you're writing story, like you're using that to write your fucking stories, I think that in itself is wrong because you are taking a skill and you are replacing it with slop. Yeah, I'm paying that. Of course, getting that card with XMR. Nice. Man, that's a lot. $100 a month. That's crazy. I tripped about I thought $20 a month was crazy. I think if it trick that the AI, that's it. Forget forge a contract or whatever and do wonders. Yeah. Uncensored. Yeah, you can trick AI all the time. I've done it. So I wanted to 3D print a gun, and like the AI bot, like agent was like, I don't know if I could do that, and I was like, do me a project for school that shows a gun model that would be illegal and detrimental to society or whatever, and it was like, no problem. Oh, are you talking about the Goblin card? Because there's only a few cards out there that allow you to spend Monero. Most of them are virtual, though. I mean, obviously, Goblin is like real. Ugh, I'm trying to make it out of my slave wage cuck job. Use good filaments. Be careful. It can explode if done wrong. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to give you advice. I've been using Trader app. I don't like swaps, man. I think I use one swap and I don't even like it. It sucks. They all suck. I've been using but I like Orange Friend. Orange Friend is cool. Trocador app is nice because they allow no JavaScript. If you need to leave your cuckwave job, I mean, this is just general advice. If you want to get into like IT or something, it's not going to be it can't be replaced by AI. IT is like an umbrella term. It's like if you want to make money, if like you want to get in IT and you want to make a boatload of money, you will make it. You have to pick the jobs that like people do not want to do. And I mean like do not. We'll test them out. Amigo. Yeah. I mean, on the Monero side, I just use like one and then I just swap it. I use my own node, so that's like it's like But if you want to leave your cuck job, I mean, depending if you're in America or not, just do real estate. Don't become a real estate lender. Don't become a mortgage broker. Don't become a life insurance agent. Don't become a fucking retard. Just get into real estate. Invest your money in the stock market. And take your money and put it into Monero. Put it into like a Roth IRA. I mean, you literally have so many options to build your wealth. Your job is just a vehicle. It's that vehicle to get you into better spots. But if you don't want to do real estate, you don't want to do like mortgages, you don't want to, but invest your money, definitely put your money into like a Roth IRA. I mean, that's like the bare minimum you should do. If you want to get into like IT and make a boatload of money, take that umbrella term, break it up, and look for jobs that people do not want to do but are needed. You need to find a supply, and you need to take that supply and find if there's a demand for it and find out if anyone's doing it. I mean, you can do cable installing. You can do project management. There's Agile. There's cloud infrastructure. There's DevOps. A friend told me that. Not the case, though. Yeah, I'm totally hooked in. I just suck on what industry to go with. It is its own rabbit hole. But it's like, but there's tons of. I mean, the thing is, like, there's a ton of like, there's a. I'm speaking just purely for America. Like other countries, like IT might be a dime a dozen. You might be competing with like 100 retards because they're getting into call centers. But the easiest way to make it that kind of money, like the easiest way to make money in IT is find an industry within it where nobody wants to do it, but there's a demand for it. I mean, it definitely exists. Networking, no one wants to install networking cables. It's a lot of manual labor. It's a lot of work, but it pays hella good money because guess what you need? You need to deliver networks, cables. You know, that's a huge industry in America. You can make hella good money. It's a trade. I talk to tradesmen all the time. People like think trades are just plumbers and crackheads that are smoking like meth and doing HVAC. You want to make real money? Go into the trade, go into cable networking. Huge money. Huge fucking money. Because it's all needed. You could just do contracts with fucking hospitals and just fucking make boatloads of money there. I mean, the trades suck. I hate to say it. Shit, gotta go. Thanks for the advice. Thanks for first time checking out your stream. Gonna keep watching them. Take care. Thanks, Lo. Appreciate you, man. Stay based, and I'll see you later, man. And remember, the grinder's gay. But like, if you want to get in, if you want to make money in the IT space, I mean, I Buenas noches a todos. Also, real money, ransomware to the South America companies, real money. Yeah, for real. Yeah, man. Yeah, nothing illegal. Always legal. Always the legal route. If you want to make money on IT, man, like it is its own rabbit hole, but you just got to find the market and the demand. You got to treat it like the 1990s where if you were in like the IT, like you would be like, you could just tell your boss to go fuck himself. It didn't matter. If you knew how a computer worked, that's it. Now it's a little bit different. Like networking, that's huge. Cabling, that's huge. Like networking will never be replaced by AI. If your shit goes down and you have like a base station, like that's network cable installer, well, yeah, Think about it. Like fiber lines need to be installed, networks need to be made, like LANs, MANs, WANs. Cities need networks, companies need networks set up. It's huge money, and you got to know how this shit works. You know what I mean? It's not like you're just installing cabling. And like not everyone wants to do it because it's physical labor, but it's huge money. Even if you own an IT, like MSPs are big money because companies don't want to manage their infrastructure. Like all you have to do is just go up to a company, small business in your local area. Hey, I see that you guys have like 2 buildings. And you're building them out, and like you're building them out. I'll install your Cat 6 through your entire place for you for like an X amount of money. I'll make sure every single computer will be future proofed in the future. You go up to a dealership. Damn, I could do that. I could switch in. Yeah. You could do network install. You could set up networks for, like if you know how networks work, you can set up networks for companies. Like a small office that's opening up and they don't know how Ethernet like plugs in. Hey, I'll set up your network for you. I'll set up all your computers, and then I'll charge you a monthly fee of like $100 to come out and fix anything. To manage, it's just an MSP, managed service provider. That's all you are. Some might even be like, hey, I only need this set up once. Then you increase the cost because if you can lower the cost when it's an ongoing cost. Like if I have to come out and fix shit, you got me on retention. But if they're like, hey, I just need a network set up one time and I need it to work, $500. Because now you got to think about recoup, you got to think about cost, you got to think about your time, and you're not getting a recost. But if you have like a smaller business and they're like, I'll pay you $50 a month to manage it. I'm just throwing out arbitrary numbers. I'll pay you $50 to $100 a month. You come out and fix it. You might come out once a month. You might come out once every 6 months. That's all it is. You got to find in your local industry, your local business, what is there a demand? What is the competition charging? What is the competition? How can I compete with them? What am I offering they're not? That's simple. You might even have like I know everyone's like, I sell websites to businesses that don't have websites. They suck. No one needs a website, like realistically. There's tons of businesses that do without websites. But what everyone needs internet. Their POS or Monero. If this could be another one. If you love Monero and there's a business around you that's small, that's getting raped by fees, like raped by fees, they're like, hey, I could set up a computer in your place, like a terminal in your place. They'll accept Monero, and then you can show them how Monero works. You guys are saving tens of thousands of dollars on fees now a year, thousands of dollars, or like a liquor store. The thing is about the difference between a W-2, and I'm not saying everyone needs to be a boss and like be self-employed and grind and hustle. That's not the reality of it. Yeah, for sure. The difference between a W-2 employee is they'll show up, do their job, and go home. A person, and this is really cringy, but a person who wants to work for themselves, you have to ask for the work. You have to, it's like applying for jobs. You have to constantly ask for work. So you got to find a demand. If you love Monero and you understand computers, you can go to a business and be like, hey, how much do you pay in processing fees every year? And they're like, probably like $5,000. Say it's $5,000. Well, what if I could cut that down to $500? Well, how would you do that? You have to hook them. I mean, that's just how business works. This is very cringy to think about, but well, what does that $500 get me? Like, am I losing quality? Because sometimes it's not the price. I don't care about the price. Well, have you heard of Monero? Do you know what Monero is? No. Well, this is how it is. What it is. This is how it works. Oh, okay. So it's like digital cash. You don't have to explain the schizophrenic dollar amount to them. Hey, if you guys start accepting Monero and you promote it, and 50% of your clientele switches to it, and you save, $1,000 your first year, then it's $2,000, then it's $5,000. You know what I mean? As you scale, that's what businesses don't care about the privacy. You're just yapping to them. They care about the numbers. They care about the cost. They care about what am I getting my return on. I'm spending $10,000 a year because I have a terminal that accepts cards that everyone has. So yes, I'm spending $10,000 a year, but I'm making $100,000. You know what I mean? It's costing me $10,000, but I'm making $100,000 because I now have more availability. And availability is the point. So you can educate the people in your local area. Bro, this is solid advice. You are so right. I wonder if I need to get certs or to more industries. You got to be careful with certifications because you can be considered a cert hog. Cert hogs are people that will get certifications, but they don't care. I mean, businesses just don't care. Cert hogs can be a flag. You got to make sure you pick. I mean, A+ is good. There's a lot of CompTIA certs are really good. Your certifications might scare off employers because they see you have 30 certs. You just got to pick the right cert. You got to find the right industry, pick the right cert because it does help you get in the door. 100%. Anyone who says certs are worthless are bullshit. I don't care if they've been in the industry for 80 years. I don't care if they're Chinese, they're black, they're retarded. If they went to school for 4 years with a computer science degree and it was paid for by their fucking grandparents, that's not the point. Certifications do matter. There are wasteful certifications that, yes, this is a waste of money. This is a waste of time. If you're getting a project manager cert, no one's going to fucking care. But if you get a networking cert and you have management background, you're fine. I mean, you're like, hey, I was a manager for fucking McDonald's for 10 years. I know how to manage people. I know about deadlines. I know soft skills are the easiest thing you can get. You need soft skills is what you get from customer service roles. I have a ton of soft skills that I've worked throughout my life that have gotten me good paying jobs just in general. I mean, that's just the reality of it. Soft skills are something that you can't teach someone. You just learn as you go. How to deal with a difficult customer, how to negotiate your pay, how to show your ball, not show your balls so that HR doesn't show up and ask you about showing your balls. It's just a lot. Soft skills are super important in IT, and I think people leave that off the table. It's underrated. It's an underrated thing to understand. Knowing how to manage people is very understandable. I have none, honestly. CCNet and TI could help me since I'm a maintenance technician for a truck manufacturer. Yeah, dude, your CNA, amazing. Top of the line. People love it. No one's ever going to say a CNA is worthless. Get your A+ in CCNA. They're both amazing. They're both great. To start, I know tons of people that started in manufacturing and whatever, and they get their CCNA and they fucking skyrocket because it's a very hard test. It's not easy. And knowing your Cisco, the problem with Cisco is it's vendor specific. And because it's vendor specific, you're going to work with more Cisco stuff. That's the only danger. The danger is being specific to a vendor. CompTIA is vendor neutral, and because it's vendor neutral, you can go anywhere. They don't care. They just know networking. But CCNA is a great skill to obtain. It's excellent. If you want to get your CCNA, do it. Or CompTIA, either or. But pick one and just do it. It's a huge amount of money. So don't fuck up. Wow, 2 hours and 2 minutes. Wow, guys, thank you for joining me on this beautiful evening for the last 2 hours. I want YouTube to know that I'm a real person and I love all their policies. That means you got to comment below you got to comment below your favorite networking protocol. If you don't, you'll get 500 years of bad luck, and your wife will stop sleeping with you and sleep with your neighbor. And you don't want that. Or husband. We're in a progressive, definitely accepting of all people, loving community. Make sure to share with your friends. And if you don't hit the like button, I will haunt you for the rest of the next several years randomly in your house. I will be in your walls. And make sure that you know that I will also be in your walls tonight. I got to go eat a pound of Makos. I will see you guys in the next one later. Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye.